Alright, welcome back to Dunk Squad Traders Hub. Yeah, as usual, you know how we do this, and of course it is Thursday morning, the 10th of April. So if it is your first time to join us here, please go ahead and subscribe if you don't mind, and of course don't forget to hit the bell button so that you click on all notifications. You don't be missing out on these live sessions that we do every other day. Right about now, we're going to pray and head over to the analysis as usual. Okay, let's pray. Father, we thank you for this beautiful morning. Thank you that you are with us. Thank you that we are back to this very market, so God, that you gave us the opportunity to be part of it, Lord. Even as we analyze today, we know that you're granting us the knowledge and wisdom to understand the charts clearly, and also more importantly, to get good and better signals that we will be able to make money out of. We give you praise. We love you so much, Lord. Thank you for the profits that we're making today. Thank you for the profits that we made yesterday, and we want to say thank you even as we start this day. We give you the glory and honor. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Right. So, as usual, we start with Crash 500. Please, if you can, share the link so that those who love trading or those who want to start to love trading can get started with our channel to be, to give them a start of in their career as they start to get the interest into trading. All right, so Crash 500. It's a bit cold today. I don't know from your side, but my end, it's a bit cold today, so I'm having a bit of the allergy because of the coldness, but I'll be fine. So crash 500. So let's start from H4, actually H1. I wanted price to react back to this. This was, I think, M15. Let me see if it comes back. If it was to come back, I wanted it to come back and react to this. That is, I did this before I went to sleep last night. Yesterday it happened just the way we wanted, but I was unable to make the entry because of the signal on M15. It was not favoring me at that moment, so I missed out on the entry, and it went all the way into buys. But now clearly, according to M15, we clearly see a change of character, a low high. This was like a pullback that didn't reach the level, so clearly we see that price reacted all the way back to the fair value gap down below there, not even the order block. So it has used that, not the order block. So if it has used the fair value gap right there, now this fair value gap is invalid. It is invalid, and clearly now according to H1, you can see it was even a fair value gap on H1. We have again started the buys, but yeah, H4 we are looking for buys, H1 we are in buys. About H4, I want to first look at it a bit more. All right, okay, so it was a pullback, but is it enough pullback for us to actually think of continuing to buy? Let's go to daily. Maybe enough. So H1 we have that. All we need now that was a break of structure right there, then it came down, grabbed the liquidity on the fair value gap there, did the liquidity sweep on the fair value gap there, and now we have started to head back into buys. All right, so if we know that, then this may not be any important currently to give us another pullback down. I don't know, was it on M15? Yeah, not really. It will not come back. So go to H1, and now CCI is showing us we are overbought, but you have to remember the reason there why it is overbought. It's because of those highs. That's why it is showing us that we are overbought. But you have to remember, according to H4, we are still in a buy trend. And now if we are to use the fib, I mean the fair value gaps, you realize that this is a bullish fair value gap that has been respected. So it means that general bias, the bias on this asset is a what? Is a buy. General bias is pointing to buy. So let's wait and see. I wouldn't actually wait. I would actually go to M15. Look at the bias on M15, which it is a buy, of course, and clearly now I would look at what has been happening in the past 2 or 3 hours there, and I wait. something maybe like that or like this. And that would clearly be a what? That would clearly be an ascending triangle right about there. That would clearly be an ascending triangle. So all I need now is to see probably a fake breakout down below, and then later on come into buys to that fair value gap, or a clear breakout to there. So that's how crash 500 is gonna work out. Boom 1000. Let's look at boom 1000. So boom 1000, excuse me. So boom 1000, last night I shared on the VIP that those who wanted to sell it can actually those who trade overnight can actually sell this asset. But of course I had my limit order up there just in case it decided to break out on that resistance. It activates my limit order up there. All the stop loss orders are up there above that other is it what is it it's another block on H1. So so right about now, last night, this was last night here, it went into sales in profits, and of course it kept on reacting back. Then it went back this morning. So this morning it went back again to our entry points, went back into our entry points. Clearly one would see that is like an ascending triangle. That is in formation. In fact, if I do it from here, you clearly see that. You clearly see that low, high, low, high, low, low, then high. Now it's gonna come for the low again. But since this ascending triangle is on a resistance, we will be anticipating a reversal of a trend, not a continuation. Why? Because it is on the resistance. If it was in the middle of a trend, then we would have anticipated continuation of the trend, or if it had been formed on the support, then we would have looked at reversal to the buys. But now it's gonna be a reversal to the sells because it is found on the resistance. Alright, so now that I know that, I can delete this. After deleting that, I can do what? Go to H4. H4, you have to remember that H4, its momentum is a buy. Its momentum is a buy, but what we are looking at is, before we start the buys, we want to first grab some liquidity left back, either on this order block, on the fair value gap, or down below to this other order block. So these are all the levels that we have before price can actually start again the buys according to H4. So there is a lot of consolidation that has been happening since yesterday, that have made us not to make an entry. Yes, of course, the buy was a retest. We already knew that it was going to do that, even though that I thought it would actually first touch this order block. It failed, so that's why it is a bit now very hard for us. What I can say is, don't make an entry now. If you did not enter yesterday, you can wait for when it does that. When it does that, will be a pullback, then an entry. So we wait for something like that. When it makes a breakout, then we can look at an entry to actually continue selling this asset. So for now, I will leave it at H1 and then head over to another asset, which is Boom 500. Boom 500 was a bit it was something that I had no didn't have enough momentum yesterday, the whole of yesterday, but we had already entered ourselves right here. So what happened is, I had my sell entries there, and I told you guys, once it goes into profits, you can either close or keep holding. So I closed some of the entries and I kept some other, I think one entry, which I left to run overnight. It went into profits, then again it came back right there. It found me on break even. It found me on break even, having gone into profits like that, and then it came later into on back to the break even. And that's how it took me out again. So right now I want to see something different. First, delete all this for now. Delete this. Delete what else? Delete that. And now delete. We want this, of course, but then we also want this from there. So if I have that, go to daily time frame, we're looking for buys. H4, we're looking for sales. H1, I'm looking for sales. M15, some are looking for buys. Weird. Let's see, where did it come back to? It did touch this order block. It did. If it did, then the buys should be on. Then I should be looking for buys. For sales. So get back to H1. Let's do this. Let's do that, and also do this. Alright, so we have a falling wedge. We have a falling wedge, which clearly give us a signal, which gives us a signal for the sell. For the buy. So why are we still looking for sells on H1? It's weird. This is a falling wedge. It is showing us a signal to actually enter buys at a later stage. But then it is giving us momentum. It is showing us on H1 and H4, showing us we need to sell. Remember, we have a resistance up there that is holding up. Then we have these fair value gaps left back according to H4. According to H4, and clearly this fair value gap would be the one valid to give us an entry. So it's a bit weird. It's very weird for us to make an entry here. Boom 500. We can only and only trade it within these levels. But now what is going to happen is it's gonna keep praying until M15 gets overbought, and then it starts to sell just according to H1. Once it sells, we may see a fake breakout to go this way first before we can engage into buys. It is trying to now I want you to understand this. This is going to be very important for everyone to understand. So it may not reach all the way down below. It's gonna do this. It's gonna come like that, and this may be according to H1. So if it is going to be according to H1, it may even only come about that level only, and then go back into buys. Now this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm saying. This is going to be the accumulation kind of level, and then the manipulation movement, which is fake breakout, going to sales. It will be a manipulation, but then later on we'll be headed back to buys. Remember, according to according to daily, we need buys. That is the thing. So I'm going to leave this. It's a bit strange. I will leave it at M15 until M15 is overbought. I can't enter this asset. For now, I will leave it, even though I know that it has already touched the upper trend line and the order block up there. The sale has started, but if it makes another retest, I can enter the sale. Why? Because it touched the resistance trend line and even the order block, which is now currently our resistance on top on according to M15. So that's how weird this asset is. It's very important to know that, and very important to know that it is going to be tricky. It's going to be taking a lot of money today because of the structure it is forming currently. All right, V25S, Vol25 1S. Volatility 25 1S. Just a minute. This was the other day, this is yesterday. So what is it doing? First delete all this, all that. So this was the move. Here to there, it's what I was looking at to reach there. So it broke out from that channel. It's a short channel, or we'll call it a flag if you want to. Then it It was meant to reach that level, but it did not. After breaking out, it retested back to that order block according to M15. Yeah, right there. And it's now acting as a support. In fact, you can look at it from this other angle. What is happening? You can look at it from that very order block right there. So just delete these. So right here it has retested. Now it's going into the buys because we know that it is coming right about there. That's where it's coming to. Remember, according to H1 we are looking for buys, according to H4 we are looking for sells. These buys may not exceed there or even the other order block. Is it an order block? Yeah, it is a resistance level up there right about here. So if it goes all the way up, then it will be coming back with sells according to H4. Once H1 is oversold, overbought, then we'll come with sells together with H4, and then later that's where we'll be coming in with the buys. Remember, even daily time frame is close to retest a level according to CCI. So it means H1 has to continue buying, gets overbought. Once it gets overbought, then H4 will be selling, H1 will be selling, and D1 will be also selling as a retest, because we've been buying according to D1. Why? We can see these break of structures right there, break of structures right about there. So it's been a buy trend according to daily, but then we need to see a retest at a later stage, and this retest according to daily, it will be coming all the way back to where? I have no idea. I have to check it out on H4, but probably it's gonna come about there. Then this will be the level right about here in this very fair value gap. Even though it was mitigated, it may come again and test it once more. We will see about that. But if you go to H4, there are many other levels where price can actually react back to their order blocks left back, like this very one may be a big deal for us right there. This one may be a big deal for us. It's the one that I'm seeing being important. So this can go off. Now go back to H1. We have that resistance, that support. It's taking us right about there. Do we have an entry? No, we don't. We can see we are getting some break of structures. So if it comes again down, you can enter to take you right here. But until then, you have no entry. So if it makes a pullback, either here, then you can make your entry to take you all the way up, because we are in an uptrend according to H1 and M15. All right, I think that's it on V25S. I may not trade it at all. Yeah, I may not trade it at all. It's very near. But this trade alone, if it does this trade alone can give you enough money. So I actually will trade it, yeah, if I happen to get an entry. Alright, that is V25S. Let's go to V75. V75. So V75, of course I showed you that yesterday we entered a sell. Those who are on VIP, I hope you made some money out of that sell. I think it was around here. yeah, that was a sell right here. This is the entry that I gave you. So it reacted around here and went back, but then this was another entry. So clearly we are having an expanding symmetrical triangle right now. It is happening right now. That is what we are seeing currently, and it has come back to touch that support trend line and heading back to the buy. Of course, it is already showing us we need to sell according to H1, but the fact that the price is above our moving average, it clearly tells us that price is going to go a bit up before we come into sales. So M15 should be buying, and exactly that's what we see. M15 is already giving us that signal that we are in a buy trend. So seeing change of character right there, and then break of structure right here, it tells us we are headed back, we are headed all the way up there. So all we need is now a pullback, probably to come and cover this fair value gap right there. Then we can buy from this fair value gap to take us all the way up there before we can enter sales. That's how I'll be trading this. That's how I'll be trading this asset today. Until then, if I don't see something like this, it's a no-go. I will not enter this trade at all. That is V75S. I mean V75, not V75S. So now we are headed to jump 50. Jump 50. Jump 50. All right. What is happening here? Let's start from weekly. What are we looking on weekly? Weekly, it's I wonder what it is even doing there. Anyways, so that's what we're seeing on weekly. We are looking for a continuation of sales. Oh, that was monthly. Sorry. So we're looking for continuation of sales according to weekly, and clearly we are overbought right there, overbought. So sales should be starting. Daily, we have those two trend lines according to weekly. Then daily, we are actually selling, but now we were looking for the pullback about that level right here to grab liquidity on that fair value gap. That was a pullback we are looking at on daily time frame. Now I wanted to continue the buy, but I wanted to continue it from here when it comes and tests that fair value gap right here, but it failed. Then it created another fair value gap that was actually mitigated, not that much, but it was somehow mitigated by these candles right here. So when it did that, it went all over up there to that order block, actually broke it and came to that resistance level right about there. We are now on the resistance level right there. So this clearly tells us that H1 should be selling, and clearly H1 is selling. We have our change of character right there, if we can call it that, but then there's a bit of low momentum. Sellers and buyers are few in the market. They are all skeptical to enter sales for some reason or another. So all we need now, first get into this, all we need is a pullback here or down below, for what? For the buys to come through, so until then we have no business with this. I may not even enter any sales. Probably if M15 is giving me that, M15, not really, it's actually good, it's about to look for buys, so M15 is likely to give us a signal for buys. That's how weird this is, and clearly that's what we see. That's a falling wedge, so it clearly tells us that that price is still in a buy trend, and it's coming just about there. It's gonna come just about there, so one can actually do this. So that's how weird this is, right there. That's how we are going to look at the sales on this asset, sales on that asset. So until it gets there, I'm not trading this, and I'm not even entering any buys to take me up there. I'm just gonna be patient with this asset. This is Jump 50. It's a big asset. It doesn't require any negligence or any rational decisions, so it needs you to be patient and wait for a clear entry. So I wouldn't want anyone to mess up and incur a great loss just because you couldn't wait. So let's wait for price to reach at least that level, then we see what happens there. If it gives us an entry to sell this, then we can sell this, remember, knowing that this is just going to be a retest trade to come and grab liquidity or do a liquidity sweep on those fair value gaps, and then we enter the buys, which will be according to the trend. Yes, the buys are the ones that are according to the trend, but now we can't enter any buys because there is no momentum. So it needs first to create momentum, and it creates it by liquidity grab or liquidity sweep all the way down below. So all that's what we'll be waiting for. That's what we will be waiting for later in the day or even tomorrow, because this is going to be a long move for us to see. So that is it on H1 and of course on Jump 50. Let's now head over to Jump 25. Jump 25, I missed an entry that would have given us a lot of money yesterday, and it did not even give me another entry at all till it reached the TP level. Those who attended yesterday's analysis session, you know that I told you we will wait for the pullback to this order block. So it came and gave it to us right about there. It gave us that a retest to this order block. I was supposed to be entering immediately. I missed that entry, but it did not give any other pullback after that. So that's how we missed this whole move, because we already knew it was coming there. You can see after reaching there, it gave a short retest and then continued with the buy trend. That is how we missed this trade. So now all this is no longer necessary. We can delete all this, all that, and now I have a clear chart ready to reanalyze it now. If I set to daily, yeah, it has gone back to the upper trend line, and we need sells, but daily says we need buys. H4 we need sells. Well, we haven't gotten any entry or any confirmation. H1 we need sells. Wait, we have a gap on H4. It won't work. Now I'm just gonna leave this because I need to see some pullback. I'm not even sure where, because clearly I see that sales started long time. I need a pullback there, then sells according to H4 and H1. So I need a pullback there. Daily, this is where our trend line is according to daily. In fact, yeah, it is there. So this may have even changed to that now. That may have changed to that now, clearly. So that's what we have apparently. The structure has changed right there. So all we need now is pullback, then sells according to H4. Then we come to sells and probably all the way down below. But remember, daily needs buys in a weird way, yet weekly needs sells. That is so weird. That is so weird. We may have some good time not trading this asset. We will see about that, but as of now, I need to see some retest there. If it fails to break out and continue to the buys according to daily, then we will enter sales to bring us right about here. Yeah, I think that's it for this very asset. We have some support right about there. We have a support down below there, and now we need to see pullback get to this level. Alright, let's wait and see about that, even though we see, yeah, it's gonna happen. Why? Because M15 is at a retest level according to CCI. That is very significant. So that means we're going to see the buy right here to take us right there, and then later on continue to sell on M15, H1 and H4. That's how we will be able to enter this asset. I may put my limit order right here. Yeah, I can easily put my limit order right there and wait for this very sell entry to come through. That is on jump 25. Alright, we have about 13 minutes to close this, so let's do our last asset, which is jump 10. Jump 10 has been a no-go for us, but we of course knew that it was going yesterday. Those who were part of the analysis, I told you that we will eventually see a breakout to continue with the buy, because we had already understood that that was a falling wedge, so we wanted, it is looking for this kind of move, and then later that move from here to there, and that is what is happening right there. The buy is on to that level. Yeah, daily we are still buying, so that's why I said we may even see the whole of this to take us all the way up there, but we may first see this pull back before it can continue to the buys. So that's what we are looking at, but as of now we need to continue with the buys, even though we're seeing that we are starting to sell, and clearly according to CCI we are overbought. H1 the buys seems to be dealt with and done with. So let's first delete all this, all that. Price is below our 10 MA according to H1, and clearly according to M15 we are already selling, but not yet, we are not yet sure, because it hasn't given us a change of character yet. So for now I will leave it till I have a change of character and a pullback, then I can clearly say we are now selling. But until then, no entry and no engagement at all to this asset. So that is it. Let me do suggest how I need this. So that's how I'll be looking at such. I'll be waiting for such, but until then, not really. We have no entry. Remember, there is a fair value gap on M15 right here, so this would be a very important level to see a pullback. Yeah, then continue probably with enough momentum to break through and continue with the sell. But then I want to remind you that according to what we analyzed yesterday, we're supposed to see the buy continue and reach at least that other level. So we are still 50-50. If it does give us this, then we will continue with the sell. But if it fails, then we know that it's going to continue with the buy to reach the other TP level that we had already anticipated. Why? Because the general trend is still a buy trend. That is a break of structure right here after consolidation. That is a break of structure, so we need to continue with the buy. The only difference right here is that price is below our 10 MA, which is a bit significant according to H1. All right, I think that is it on jump 10. Now we can do a recap and call it a day today. It's a slow Thursday. The markets are slow. We may not even get a trade today. We will see about that. But yeah, it is very slow today. All right. So we started with crash 500. We started with crash 500. Just like I told you, that we may see a fake breakout down below. That's what is happening currently. Then we may continue with the buy. So for now, we are seeing that fake breakout. And knowing that this is an ascending triangle, we know that the buy has to come around. So this is a fake breakout. In fact, I would look for buys right here. Let me see. According to what I have, I would look for buys right here. So this would be an entry for me right there. Having done that, and I will be putting my stop loss just below this candle here. That's where I will be putting my stop loss, just below that candle. If it continues, then it will take me out, but I'll be looking at that. and then of course aiming at my profit just in the middle there, right about there. I'll be aiming for my profits just about there. So I'll be risking about probably $7 using my 0.5 lot size, and I'll be aiming at about $28 right there. So those who want to enter with me, do the needful. Like I told you, fake breakout. Now we want to see some buys to take us all the way up. That is crash 500. At least now we've gotten one entry there. Yeah, of course, boom 1000, the entries, these ones I made them last night, so I'm still in some buy entries, sell entries on boom 1000. So the sale is still on. The only issue is for you to enter, those who have not entered yet, you need to wait for a breakout, because the structure is still not that flexible, not that giving us enough of what we actually need. So I want to first delete some of these so that I can have a clear structure right there. Delete all that. Yeah, well, the rest of these lines, these are entries. Yeah, I think that's it. What is this line doing? Oh, that is showing us our TP, because the general trend is a buy. We need to later on see that buy come through, but we don't want to see buys yet before we actually see it come around that level or here. So for now, I'll leave it down below as we wait. So the buy, the sell is what we are having currently. Yeah, these two entries are in profits, this other one is in losses. But all we need now is a breakout. Once we have a breakout, we will be assured that the sell is going to continue all the way to this other order block, or even the one below, which is according to M15, which I believe we may not even get to. According to what I'm seeing, we may not get to, but let's wait and see how all plays out. Yeah, that is it on boom 1000. Boom 500, yeah, the pullback happened, and I think we can enter sales. Yeah, we can enter sales. Can we? Yeah, we can enter sales to bring us back to this trend line, and probably then later on bring us into buys. So sales are on boom 500, knowing that your stop loss is just gonna be here. Please don't put huge stop losses which are against your risk tolerance. Put a stop loss that is within your risk tolerance. Now our TP, you can take your TP just about here or even to the trend line, but I want a 1 to 3. So if it is supposed to be a 1 to 3, 9 times 3, that will be 27. So I'm looking about there. Yeah, so it is still within there. So 1 to 3, I'm risking 9. I want to take 27. So that is it. V25, yeah, pullback happened there, but it is even breaking down below. So all we need is to wait for an entry to actually continue with the buy. So can we wait for that? Let's wait. Let's go to M5 and see. Oh man, M5 somehow has given us a change of character. That is weird. M5 has given us a change of character. That is so weird. And then we have to remember that it left some liquidity right here. Probably it wants to come down below for this Not sure about that, why it has given us a liquidity, a change of character there. So I wouldn't do anything for now. I'll just leave it. Yeah, I'll just leave it. Okay, that is V25S. Let's wait for the candle to close. M5 is looking for sells, even M1. M15 on the other hand is looking for buys to actually continue the buys. Alright, so we leave this at M15 for now. Don't want to enter something when you're blindsided. This we need a pullback according to M15 and then enter. V25, jump 50. We know that the buy is going to continue to get us right about there. A jump 25. I'm already waiting for the sell to be activated right there. So until then, I'm not entering this. Jump 10, it's a no-go for us. It's very a weird one, so I wouldn't bother looking for any entries on jump 10. Yeah, even if it gives me this and that, probably, maybe if it gives me this and that, then I may enter. But then the general trend is still a buy to get us right about there. So for now, I wouldn't put a lot of focus on it. I'll be now focusing on V75, and probably these are the boom 1000 and boom 500s, and probably even crash. Yeah, so crash, we are in profits. Those who entered with me, we are already in profits. Of course, boom 500 is also a bit in profits, but we can't say now because we just entered it. This one is in profits already also. So that is today's that has been today's analysis. I hope you've picked one or two pointers that you can use to make money today. But just like we wanted, according to M15, we know that we've been breaking structures. We are in an uptrend, so it has made a retest. I should be entering right here according to M15. Yeah, and this should be taking me where? There. So why do I have to wait? Let me wait for the second candle here to start. If the second candle starts as a buy, then if this candle actually closes as something that shows me that buyers are continuing, then I can enter if this candle, the current candle, closes. But as of now, it has just started, so I have to wait for this current candle to close, the M15 candle, to know what I should do. But apparently I wanted that retest so that I can enter buys to take me all the way up there. So until then, this is a no-go for us. All right, let me wish you guys a good day. Thank you for attending today's session. The likes of Lois, consistent streamer, and of course the likes of Desmond. Thank you for joining us today, and the rest of you guys. I know you had a great time with me. Hopefully, I believe you did. I want to remind you that don't always trade leveraging a lot. Leveraging, it means if you leverage high, it means you're also putting your account at a high risk. So it's better to trade carefully using the leverage that aligns with your account, meaning your lot size is well thought of and before you use it, to see how it aligns with your account. And mostly don't forget to use stop losses. Of course, sometimes the leaf will try to hunt your stop losses if it knows that you've been hammering it and taking a lot of money. It may trap your account to track where you put your stop losses, but either way, you need to know that you can always stay around and monitor your trade, not to lose a lot if you happen not to lose stop losses. But still, either I encourage to use stop losses. Yeah. What else? You need to have your maximum drawdown of the day. Mine is 2 trades. If I lose 2 trades that have hit my risk tolerance, that is my drawdown, maximum drawdown. I don't enter another trade in the day. So I don't know what is yours. Yeah, all these that I'm talking about, I teach them in the classes, in the mentorship classes. So if you want to join, you may now start to register for May mentorship class, and of course teaching you how to trade, my analysis, my strategies, all that is what I do. So if you want more of that, you need to register for the May mentorship class. Let me wish you guys a good time. Trade carefully. Patience is key. Don't rush to make poor decisions that may end up bringing a loss to you, a big loss. Patience is very key. When you have your confirmations ready and you have your entries and the confirmations ready, then you can enter. But if you don't have them, then why are you rushing into making an entry? So it's better to wait and wait for the proper entry, and of course as you place your stop losses and all the TP levels that you want. Happy trading. See you tomorrow same time. Have a nice day, guys.